888-7753-773. Let me go first time caller out of Virginia. Robin. Robin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. I found you about a month ago, and your all thoughts are all lies all the time stopped the jungle in my head. I want to thank you so much for that.
Right on.
My question is, I'm really confused about this emotionless life. You know, I heard the other caller from Virginia earlier that called about her father had just died 2 hours ago.
Right.
And she said her mom was crying, and she was showboating because she was crying.
Yes.
I'm very emotional, and I cry, but I don't do it to manipulate. I will run away from people because I don't want them to see me crying. So I don't understand if I'm crying, I'm lying. I don't get that. I'm really having trouble with that one.
And your question is what?
I mean, I don't understand it. Like the other day I saw a YouTube short of yours, and right after it was Jordan Peterson, and he was coming out of his seat yelling at the guy, and he's crying on half of his YouTube shorts, you know, or anytime you listen to him. So I'm just curious, how do you reconcile? I mean, what's the difference? Is it okay for him to be emotional, but not me as a woman?
Anytime he's crying, he's lying. And when women when women are crying, they're lying.
Why do you say that?
And what are you crying for? Why are you crying?
I don't know. Because I don't want to get angry and
but
say
you are
something.
Crying. Angry people do cry.
Right.
That's who cry. Angry people.
Right.
Because they're lying.
No, but I'm not lying when I'm crying. I just went through a terrible situation with my daughter, and I ended up at the courthouse, and I had to get an emergency protective order for her children because of CPS. And I was bawling, crying, because I'm in between my daughter and my grandchildren, and they were calling me unstable.
You are unstable. What you doing?
What?
Why are you involved in it at all?
Because they called me,
right?
And they said if I didn't come, CPS called me and said if I didn't come, they were going to put the kids in foster care.
And why you didn't say, "Oh, okay, put them in foster care"?
No, man. Oh, boy,
why
I wish I could have.
Why didn't you?
Because they're my grandchildren.
What does that mean? You said you wish
I know.
You said you wish you could put them in foster care. So that means you know the right thing to do. What does that mean? Oh, because they are my grandchildren. What does that mean?
You know, that's a great question because I heard your Sunday sermon where you asked a woman, or I think you were counseling her, and you asked her, who was she? And she said, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a wife. That's exactly what I would have said. And it was so freeing to hear you say, that's just what you do. That's not who you are.
Right.
Oh, I wish I'd have found you August of last year before they called me. I certainly do. But I wasn't lying while I was there, so I don't.
Yes, you were. Why were you crying?
Because I was devastated. I didn't want to be in that position.
Why were you devastated?
Well, I felt like I was taking my daughter's children, and I agree with you. I don't think it was the right thing to do.
So then why were you crying knowing you were doing wrong?
No, I guess that's why I was crying.
And who was crying?
I mean, I want to say me, but was it my thoughts?
Who was crying?
Me.
And who are you?
Well, at that moment, I was a grandmother and a mother. That's all I could think of.
So that's who you are?
Well, that's what I thought.
And all thoughts are all lies all the time. Why would you believe that thought? About that?
Exactly.
No, that was a question. That was a question.
Yeah, and well, now I know. Now I get it. I mean, my head was a jungle when I found you. And now when I think thoughts, I immediately go, all thoughts, all lies, all the time. And I capture those thoughts, just like you say to do. And now I got it.
And those thoughts are making you cry, too, because they make you feel sorry, or they make you feel like a grandmother, or they make you feel responsible or not responsible, you still listen to thought, which are lies, which means your crying is lying because you listen to lies.
So how would I have lived with myself if I'd have let that? If I would have just said, okay, well, they have to go to foster care then, and something would have happened to them.
What's self?
Right.
No, that was a question.
I know. I know.
What
I
self are
understand
you
what you're
talking
saying.
about?
I guess I'm talking about my grandmother's self.
What self? That's just a title. That's not a self.
Right. I don't know. I'm going to have to keep working on that.
And why don't you get out of your daughter's life, be done with her, and let her work out her own problem? You can't save your daughter, and all you're doing is making things worse by going there and trying to take care of her kids and all that kind of stuff. All you're going to screw them up in the same way you screwed up your daughter.
Oh, geez. I know. I agree, and I'm trying to do just that.
Try to do what?
Tell her to stay out of her life.
All you got to do is stay away.
Well, she's in Mississippi, and I'm in Virginia, so that's easy to do.
When you stay in Mississippi, let her stay in Virginia, and you stay away from her and let her work out her own hell, either to live in it or to overcome it. But you're in the way. You're in hell trying to save somebody else from hell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense that you're in hell trying to save someone else in hell?
Yes.
So,
yes, that makes complete sense.
So why don't you stay out? Leave alone.
What if they need a place to stay again?
That's not your issue, not your problem.
And she has 4 children, and I just say no?
I don't care if she has 104.
It'd be easier to say no if she had 104. I wouldn't be as connected to 104 of them. That'd be much easier. But she's been with us from day one. With my daughter.
And?
They have just moved away.
Thank God. Have you apologized to her for screwing up her life?
Yes.
Are you told her you were wrong?
Yes.
And what did she say when you said, hey, daughter, I'm wrong. I screwed up your life. I turned you away from your father. I imposed my will, and that's why you screwed up. You got to forgive me if you want to be free.
Yeah.
You told her that?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Well, then stay away now. Leave her alone. Let her work out her own hell. If they have to put the kids in the foster home, let them put the kids in there. They're going to suffer anyway with you.
No. I guess so.
Are you married?
Yes. To her father.
And do you obey your husband?
Yes.
And
I try.
And so do you obey him?
Sometimes.
Do you obey your husband?
Yes, I try.
Do you obey your husband?
I guess no. I should start.
If you obey your husband, you will have a perfect life.
Right.
Women who obey their husband, they have a perfect life. But you're not obeying your husband.
Why do you say that?
Because you're running crazy all in your daughter's life.
Well, I mean, it was by necessity.
No, it wasn't.
She had to.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
That's your necessity. You needed more life to destroy. And you needed to feel good. You need to feel like a grandma. You need to put out a fake idea that you're of love, and you're not. You're all doing it for your own ego. You're keeping it alive. Because if you had love, real love, you would leave your daughter alone. You would let her suffer.
Wow.
You don't love your daughter. You don't love yourself. You love nobody, not even your husband.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
Why do you say that?
You don't obey him. You're involved in your daughter's life. You won't even let your daughter suffer through her hell. How will she find heaven as long as you're in the way?
Right.
You don't love her, you love nobody. You have no love.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, but it's true.
My gosh.
You need him.
So what?
You need him, my God. You
Right.
need to pull away and work on you. Have you forgiven your mother?
Oh, yes.
You told her?
Yes, she's dead now. But yes, I actually put it in a letter.
You forgave her for what?
For anything and everything.
Did you forgive her for recreating you or her image?
Well, I guess I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
That's what, I didn't know, but I knew that they did the best that they could, and I had to let it go, whatever.
Right. But she recreated you or her image, and you're just like your mama. That's why your husband can't stand you, your daughter can't stand you, and your
Jesse.
The people in church don't like you.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's it then. I'm just going to stay home, work on myself.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. You're something. I'm so grateful I found you.
Are you doing the silent prayer yet?
Yes, but I don't totally understand that.
You don't need to understand it, just do it, and then understanding will come. You just be quiet and watch those thoughts, and they're going to overwhelm you because you've been living in them forever and not seeing that. Now you sit still, and then God will allow you to see that so he can draw you out of them and make you free. He will take all those evil spirits away from your imagination and give you a clear mind.
Right. Okay. It's helping.
And so do the silent prayer, and then once the thoughts disappear, the emotion will too.
Right.
Emotions are not necessary, and they are not from God. And when she's crying, she's lying.
The woman's husband just died 2 hours ago.
And so why does she need to cry about that? Let the dead bury the dead.
I gave my whole mother's eulogy at her funeral. I didn't cry one time,
I bet you were glad the witch was dead.
No, I was not. I adored my mother.
Yeah, right.
I did.
Yeah, right. That's the problem.
What do you mean?
You're not supposed to adore her. You're supposed to not hate her.
Right. Okay.
So I got to run, but do the silent prayer and watch those thoughts and don't call them you anymore, and God will save you from them, all right?
Okay, Jesse.
And stay out of your daughter's hell. Let her work out her own hell. By you being involved, you'll keep her in hell. You're the one that she hates, so you're not helping her at all.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Let me know how it goes.
All right. I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.